Hey, in today's Community Shout, we're going to talk about prescriptions, both drugs and in burning, and how to be safe with each. So check it out. It's Birdman for the Arizona White Mountain Podcast, Community Shout, hanging out here in the studio. It's another great week. And yeah, I promised you a winner, but we're not there yet again. But hold on, it could happen. So we're going to start off this morning with Brenda and Amber. How are you guys?
Good. Doing well.
Good. And they're with the Nexus Coalition Drug Prevention Group. What is it? Because that's NCDP. But is it a group? Is it a coalition? I mean, it's a coalition.
It's a coalition.
So yeah, so that always confuses me because it's at the beginning of the name what it is.
So yeah, it's a coalition, drug
anyway,
coalition.
So we know Vicky's been in here quite a few times, and you've been here before. Amber's new. We're gonna let her go second, so she's not on the spot. So what do you have going on?
So well, we have a few things. We have the DEA National Take Back Day, and that's going to be on April 24th from 11 to 1. And so we have a few drop-off places. One is going to be at the Sholo Police Department, and then at the Summit. And so we want people to come by, go through your cabinets, get all those expired drugs out of your cupboards, and bring them there, and let's get them out of our cabinets so that people aren't coming into our medicine cabinets and getting those drugs, right? Yeah. And so anyway, that's April 24th from 11 to 1 p.m. So at the Summit and the Sholo Police Department.
And those are free. People just can bring in their stuff, drop them off, and
there'll be a police officer there to take all their expired drugs.
And they're not questioning you when they drop it off. So if you've got something, you drop it off. Feel free that it's they're not going to be questioned or anything. You're just bringing the stuff off and dropping it off, and you can go.
Yes, absolutely.
So I know some people have anxiety about anything, so let's make them relax.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. And then also we have our yearly art contest going on right now.
Cool.
So it's our calendar, our drug-free calendar. Mm-hmm. And so if you can go to ncdp.rocks and you can get one of these flyers, and it has all the instructions on the back.
And then this is just so people, just basically your calendar, and then the kids get their stuff for each month and stuff like that.
So so the kids draw a picture, and it has to be drug-free, looks like me, that's the theme. And they send it in to us, and then we have people come, and then they judge it. And so the first place wins $100, second place wins $75, and third place wins $50. And then it goes in our drug-free art calendar.
Cool.
And so and the deadline is May 4th. And so they need to get those in.
May the 4th be with you.
Okay.
Sorry.
And then on April 25th, we're having an naloxone training at Sal and Teresa's at 1 o'clock for the public. So naloxone, Narcan, it reverses the overdoses for fentanyl or opioid overdose. And in 2020, we had 23 overdoses. 14 of those were fentanyl, and 4 were just opioids. And so we're trying to really get these naloxone and Narcan in everybody's
we've had a lot of people saved by those too. So
absolutely.
There have been overdoses, but there's also been a lot more people that have been saved.
Yes.
So and those are available, right, to get.
Yes, and we give those for free. If you go to the pharmacy and get them, they're $75, and Nexus Coalition we give them for free.
Okay, cool. So
and they're the nasal.
Is there registration for that training or anything like that, or?
No, if they just show up.
Just show up.
At Teresa's at 1 o'clock.
Cool.
Okay.
And we've got Amber, and you've got something to talk about.
Yeah, so we're starting free parenting classes for the community.
Okay.
It's with Love and Logic, which has been an evidence-based program that's been around for like 40 years. It's been around for a long time. It's a lot of fun. It's a 6-week class. We're offering 2 starting the first week of May, Tuesday evenings.
Okay.
So that is through every Tuesday evening through June 8th.
Okay.
And then Wednesday mornings at 9:30 to 11. And that is from the May 5th to June 9th.
So you do either one, both are PATH or
one or the other.
Okay.
And we have workbook, there's materials provided, and so we're really excited to get this out to the community. It's really fun. It gives you an opportunity to learn, but also to be with other parents and to share your stories and to grow together.
Very good. Yeah, and I always say, you know, there's no instruction manual for kids, so this is kind of the best evidence-based way we can go.
Yeah, and this is great. This program works really well with kids, like little kids, all the way up to teenagers.
Yes.
You can. It's not that you have one. Oh, I've got big kids. This isn't going to apply. This applies to everybody. You can use these ideas, these tools, and the very first night you walk away with stuff you can use in your home and make a difference.
It's pretty awesome stuff
Yeah.
right there. So cool, awesome. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. Once again, Amber, Brenda, and remember that's Nexus Coalition Drug Prevention. You can look them up. We'll put the link down below, and if you need anything else, just reach out to them directly.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, still hanging out here in the studio. And let's talk a little bit about a controlled burn. They don't exist, just so you know, because they're not really in control of them. They call them prescribed burns because they are basically prescribing that the forest needs to be healthy, so it's a prescription, and they're fixing it, and they're not really in control of it. They've got management on it, but it's not controlled. Isn't that right?
Yeah, exactly. They call them prescribed burns, just like when you go to your doctor and your doctor prescribes you some medication or something like that. It's very similar to that same process. Now, the Forest Service, they're dealing with the healthiness of the forest.
Yeah.
And so that's why I know years and years ago they used to call them controlled burns and things like that, but they've gotten away from that because of terminology.
Yeah.
And hopefully it does fit much better calling it a prescribed burn because
Right.
it is for the healthiness of the forest.
So the trees need, much like we needed during COVID, they need social distancing out there, don't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, because the closer they are, the more dense the forest is, the easier it is to have those devastating wildfires.
Yeah, cool. And then bark beetles are a thing, and then
Right.
yeah, all of that kind of bad stuff.
You know, so where you get those moonscapes, they call it,
Yeah.
it just totally destroys the ground it makes it to where the ground can't recover, and it's even hard for grasses and other things to be able to grow back.
Okay. So we had one over there by Porter Mountain. That's what everybody was seeing, right?
Correct. They started Sunday, which is kind of unusual, but they take a look at all of the variables that allow them to burn at certain times. Yeah, the winds were a little bit higher than we'd like to see, but in a lot of cases, those winds helps it to actually get that stuff that the area that they're trying to burn better.
Right.
You know, I know people are saying, I noticed some of the comments where, why didn't they do this in March? Well, in March, if you remember, we had some significant winds.
Yeah.
50 plus, you know, that puts it out of that prescribed,
Yeah.
all those things that become to make it the ability to let it burn. So, because then it makes it dangerous where it will get out of control.
Right.
And you're right, they manage it, they have, and plus this time of year in April, they've actually hired on their seasonal people. So back in March, they lacked for employees. And so they needed, you know, because trying to burn 3,000 plus acres, it takes a number of resources and abilities. They had their dozers out there. They had the strike team. I mean, they had all these people out there
Right.
in order to manage this properly to keep it safe. Now, granted, it did bring a lot of smoke, and I know the smoke is irritating, but I can guarantee you, the smoke from this is much less than if it were significant wildfire.
And I'm going to say, as a person with allergies, yeah, we know we're getting hammered right now, and yes, smoke doesn't make it any better, but I'd rather be able to stay in my home all summer and live here ongoing than to have a whole place burned to the ground and have nothing. So
Absolutely. And so you got to give and take, and hopefully, and if you got questions, it doesn't hurt to call the Forest Service or even call your fire districts, and hopefully there's people there that can explain this to you and help you understand that this is the safest way to, because if we don't manage the forests, well, Mother Nature sure does a good job of, and it may take more years to recover from a significant, devastating wildfire.
So if you really have a problem with it, call your congressman, call your senator, and tell them that we need to bring back the ability to maintain our forests. And logging is a good thing. So anyways,
Yeah.
I won't put him on the spot on that one, but I'll say that. call them and say, hey, we need social distanced trees. And the only way to do that is we can self-manage. So let us do it.
Right. And there are a lot of good projects going on out there. The For Fry, setup is, they're out there. They are doing some thinning projects much more than what they used to do back in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s.
Right.
So we are seeing some good progress in that area, and seeing, and there's, like Forest Energies is taking some of this product and able to turn it into something that the consumers can use. So but is there still more things that can happen? Absolutely. And it's because we don't want to see our homes, our natural areas and places
Right.
we hike and camp and things like that to become destroyed.
Right.
So it's not only not healthy, if we don't manage it, it becomes unhealthy for people and the wildlife. So it's a delicate situation that we got to deal with.
Gotcha. Cool. Awesome. So anything else that we need to know or we should be focusing on right now?
This is that time of year to start preparing for getting your homes cleaned up. And, and we do send our crews out to selected small areas to do our red tag, green tag program. And that's just simply, it's nothing that we're issuing any citations or anything like that. You're not going to get fined. We're not turning this into your insurance. It's really just information for you to those simple things.
Right.
Because I found years ago before I started this program, at the behest of my chief, is people weren't doing anything.
Right.
And unless there was a significant fire that came through, and oh my goodness, I got to clean up, and what do I do? And
Right.
So I took some concepts that I thought were pretty simple that pretty much anybody can do. Now, granted, some people, we don't want them if they've got disabilities or maybe elderly, or we don't want them climbing on their roof to get the pine needles off.
Right.
So you may have to enlist some help from some younger folks. And there's lots of people out there wanting to do service projects, and churches and different things like that have programs set up. So look out for those. If you're in that category that we don't want you climbing those ladders and getting on top of the roof, reach out to other people that are there. The other thing we want to look at is, so it just gives you simple tips and ideas of what to do to prepare ahead of time. And then also we have the other Ready, Set, Go program, which the state of Arizona, you'll see billboards actually across different areas across the state, that it's a program that we are using jointly with everybody, so that we're all on the same page.
Right.
That gives you the ideas, the steps of, one, getting ready to, in case there's a wildfire. Two, now let's say there's a fire, be ready to go. What do you need the steps in that set phase? And then if we do get the evacuation order, what do we need to take with us? So because in the heat of the moment, if you haven't studied and looked at this stuff, you're not going to remember it. And what if you forget all your medications?
Right.
Are you going to really easily be able to go down and get more down at the Walgreens, CVS, wherever you go to? They may not be able to give that to you. So even stuff for your pets, if you have pets, what if you forget their food or medication, and now you're kind of stuck out there for several days, and you forget things, and so there's a whole host of things, that just simple things that, oh, I should have grabbed that.
Yeah.
Documents that you cannot replace.
Yeah.
So there's lots of, it's a good thing to just get you that basics of what do I need to do, and what do I need to take with me.
Very cool. Awesome.
To keep yourself safe.
Okay, so if you got any other questions, of course you can reach out to Timber Mesa Fire Medical and get information directly. And we got to mention it's Captain Webb. So
That's right.
He's always been a captain, but we always call him.
And I, being the Captain Kirk, I got to live long and prosper.
Very good. Awesome. Cool.
Grew up with that.
Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
That's going to be it for today's Community Shout. I'm Birdman, reminding you that, we're all on this mountain together, whether you want to be or not. So be calm, relax. And I know traffic's a little crazy right now. It's only going to get worse. So, we got that to look forward to. Have a smile, be nice, and we'll see you out there. And if I don't, I'll catch you right here on the web.